This message is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And it's especially for somebody who is disabled or in a moment of, like it's disabled, has chronic illness, or this could be something that's been going on for long term, or it could be just like a very new thing that has happened. And that's kind of like turned your life upside down. That's not going to be for everybody, but this is definitely one of those kinds of readings I'm feeling where has somebody is currently feeling that their forward momentum is blocked. Okay, so let's figure out what that's all about. Spirit, what's going on in Taurus's life? We've got Five of Stones, endurance in reverse. So this is what it looks like when it's right side up. We have Six of Vessels. So that's Five of Pentacles and Six of Cups. Also in reverse with the word reunion attached to it. And at the bottom of the deck we have Eight of Arrows, which is Eight of Swords. Also in the reverse with struggle. I'm seeing a childhood wound that is right at the forefront of, I want to say your mind, but it just like feels like it's impacting every part of your life. Like you've noticed that your emotions even are like, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. So there's like a need to take steps, right? I feel that you're going through a moment where you need to, you know that there are steps that you need to be taking and you're not taking them. You're kind of waiting. And the reason you're not taking them, this is kind of like, since it's a general collective reading, there's a couple of different energies going on. So I'm going to try my best to explain them. The first thing I'm seeing here is it's like it's like steps that you feel that you have to take and you're beating yourself up for not taking them. But the reality is that you don't actually have to take those steps. The reality is that they're self-imposed. That's what this card means. In this position, in the reverse position, the Eight of Swords with the struggle. It's an unnecessary struggle. Unnecessary struggle because it's like you're giving yourself extra steps that you don't need to actually take. Or like you're taking steps toward a path that isn't really aligned with you, with your highest good, with what you're capable of right now. The other thing I'm seeing is knowing that you need to take steps to make something happen for yourself. So like this could be like that you need to relocate, and so you need to be packing, you need to be looking for a new place, like taking those kinds of steps, and you're just not doing it, you're procrastinating. That's just an example. There's definitely going to be like a few different kinds of options in this scenario. Or maybe it's like you have a business idea and you're a little bit afraid of going down this unconventional path, or like this path that it feels like it's going to be a lot of work for you or something. And so not taking the steps because like some of the steps that you've given yourself are unnecessary. Like they're extra steps that you don't need to do. Like you might, if like let's take the business, the building a new business example. Let's say you're telling yourself, I need to, in order to get this business off the ground, I need to do branding, I need to do marketing, I need to start the website, and you're like telling yourself all these things, but you haven't even come up with the product yet. So it's like you're putting all these extra steps in your way. You're like putting the horse before the cart in a way. So those are some of the scenarios that I'm seeing here. What do they need to know about moving forward, Spirit? We've got the King of Vessels, the King of Cups with the heron. I love this bird. It's such a majestic bird. Have you ever seen one in person? I saw one in person recently, and it took my breath away. I just stayed very, very still for a very long time. I didn't want to move because I didn't want him to actually fly away. But I'm just remembering the way that this bird would fish. Like I watched him hunt, and he was so precise. Like one of the reasons why I was so still in that moment was because he was so still. Like you could just watch him. Even when he moved so slowly and so deliberately. And it's like I knew when he was about to go for it, like actually like spear the fish, because he just got this look on his face, and his whole head became very, very like aerodynamic, right? And so the spirit of the heron is one that is very skilled with that stillness and with that deliberation, and they actually don't show that they're about to go for the kill until that very moment when it's like when the opportunity has presented itself. Okay. The heron is also, I would say, a king of birds. This bird is so beautiful, and it is large. Okay. I would be afraid to be attacked by this kind of bird. So it's but it's not one that actually rules with intimidation. It's one that rules with class, I'm going to say. Okay. So what you're needing in this moment is that strength of like control of emotions, of deliberate movement, of actually slower movement. It's so hard to slow down in this kind of a society that we live in that really wants to speed things up. But it is imperative. There's no other option. The human body does not run on the cycles that we are forced to live in these cities and societies, right? We have the Three of Bows also that came out alongside the heron, which is the Three of Wands. This is about fulfillment. There's a need to move very slowly and deliberately toward the next, it feels like a business opportunity, or like moves in business, not just business, but it's like creation, what you're creating in your life, and living a more creative life. I think the people who are watching this today are wanting a more creative life and feeling afraid of taking that, of grasping it. There's a feeling, we got the Justice card with the Woodsman, that's in this deck, sorry. In this deck, the Justice card is a Woodsman. So this is someone who like oversees and keeps the order of the forest or whatever, like keeps that order. And this is not necessarily like a legal order. Okay. This is like balance in the universe. It's interesting how he has like, I believe this is a lynx. He has like a lynx by his side, and then he's also wearing a lynx on his head. To me, that's as balanced as it comes. It's like someone who actually has mastery, mastery over the both the physical and spiritual realms. Okay, I'm also seeing a hawk up here, and I earlier when I was doing it was like a general reading about someone who's doing going through a really big life change. Um, and I heard that hawk. I actually heard a hawk outside, like just screeching. There's not like a lot of them around here, but I do know that there's at least like one that like flies flies around every so often, and I don't hear it all the time. So that's like a special little confirmation. And so some of you actually might be considering a really big life change or career change, and that reading actually might be helpful for you. Um, but yeah, I'm seeing this like imbalance when it comes to your spiritual life and your physical life. So you could be someone who 1111 on the timer. You could be someone who's actually very more spiritual minded, especially recently, and because of that, like maybe neglecting some of the things in your like the mundane things in your physical life, like taking care of like groceries, feeding yourself well, like keeping your space clean, things like that, right? Um, and then some of you, vice versa, you may have for a long time lived a life where you were more concerned about material things and like having fun in the material 3D world, and you're feeling now this need to be really spiritual because there's been like a void in your life in that way. Spirit, please clarify this King of Cups. Let me see, this card flew all the way out, so it seems important. We've got the Lovers in reverse. And we've got the Four of Cups that came out. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. Do not be scared. Don't be scared of this. This is, I know it's scary to get it, but it is actually a really good card, especially in this position, okay? Because this means something in your life has come to an end to give you the opportunity to birth something new into the world. This may have felt like it was out of your control, or you may have actually made the decision recently to walk away from something. But regardless, for some of you, this may be that a relationship has come to an end, like a romantic relationship has come to an end because of the inability to see the good in each other, or one person stopped being able to, like one person took the other for granted, or you both started taking this for granted. For others, this is not necessarily going to be a romantic love type of thing, but it has been a situation that has challenged the way that you have seen love. Like you're really over it right now. I think that you are taking a moment to focus on yourself. It doesn't actually feel to me, for most of you, that this is about romantic love necessarily, that you are coming into a new chapter in romantic love. It kind of just feels like you're taking a moment to focus on yourself because the world around you feels lackluster. It feels like you're realizing that you are discontent with your life. Yeah, there's the energy of discontentment. that is causing you to need to focus on the self. We've got so many cards. So many cards that came out. This deck is so talkative. It like rarely wants to give me one card. It really, really loves to give three. It really loves to give three. So I'm just going to take it. We've got Owl Spirit. You see clearly now. I love that for you. Yeah, some of you may have actually, like, you may have even gone through a breakup because you realize that you deserve better. And it's not even that the other person wasn't, like, a good person or anything like that. It's just, for some of you, I think that you realize that you were looking for fulfillment in other people, and that you actually were most fulfilled in yours. Like, you're actually finding fulfillment in yourself. So the things around you don't feel fulfilling anymore because nothing can fulfill you as well as you do. And I think that ability to see clearly is helping you move on. Okay, because we've got the number 43 attached to Owl Spirit. That's the number 4 for stability, a happy home life, family life. There's 3 for growth, expansion. Put them together, that's the number 7, which is about closing out cycles. So it's like a recurring cycle in which maybe you were accepting treatment that wasn't up to par with the way that you want to be treated, or you were accepting a life that you didn't want, and you're seeing now more than just with your logic, but you're seeing how fulfilled you can be in yourself and how much you don't need all these other things to fulfill, or other people to fulfill you. Okay, we've got Dog Spirit. Be loyal to what you love. We have that in reverse with the number 19. Okay, 19 is 1 for new beginnings, creation, magic. 9 is about the spiritual path, the path of the mother, the healer, the witch, the shaman. There's so many spiritual paths attached to the number 9, and put them together, that's the number 10, which is the perfect number for gifts, especially spiritual gifts and ancestral gifts. And also, it's like 1 for new beginnings, for manifestation, creation, 0 for endless possibilities. So it's like you're stepping into a new chapter. And I think that also, I'm going to read this for you, but I have this feeling that you've been remaining loyal to someone or something or some situation for a long time, and that is this like endurance card, the endurance that we got in reverse. Something that you don't need to be enduring and that is not actually serving your highest good. It actually also might be affecting your health, your finances. It might be causing you to worry a lot. And I feel that you feel isolated. And that you've actually maybe even recently gone through a financial loss in a way that feels connected to childhood wounds. It feels like you're changing your mind about something, maybe something either that you've held on to guilt for, something that I just saw 1919. So it feels like, yeah, something that you're holding on to guilt for, something that like maybe you feel that you have to go along with it. It's like maybe if in the past, if you've had trouble holding on to jobs, you're like really trying not to let one go right now. You're like trying not to prove other people right. You're trying to prove that you have the staying power. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that one too because I feel like there's more there. Then we have Lizard Spirit with the number 38. Dream the world into being, which came out in the reverse in the protection mode. This is what it looks like. Lizards are so intuitive, and you can see like he has wings, right? But those wings to me don't look like they're physical wings. They look like they're like psychic wings in a way. I mean, sure, they could be physical, I guess, but basically, like lizards are known for like ruling that psychic, or like they're kind of like mediums. They're like the mediums of the of I want to say of the animal world, but I really believe we're part of the animal world too. Um, but they're creatures that kind of like inhabit both realms. They could be here in the physical realm, but also seeing things in the 3D, and they are very affected by the physical realm, but also very like in touch and affected by the things in the spiritual realm as well. And with the number 38, we got 3 for growth and expansion, 8 for like enlightenment, the path of the scholar, the healer, the it's more like a scholar and a teacher. This is about learning and teaching. And remember, I remember like also in the reading that I did earlier, there was a mention of like maybe like going after a teaching career or something like that. So if that's something that you're considering, like maybe changing careers, then I would definitely check that reading out. But yeah, we have Lizard Spirit, dreaming the world into being. I think that you are somebody who is very, very spiritual, and you're coming into a clear relationship with spirit, with source. But you also, I think that you're afraid to claim this path for several different reasons. Insecurity might be one of the reasons. Insecure about like what it might mean for your finances, for your stability, for your family life. For some of you, also, it could be about not feeling like you're ready. Not feeling like you're ready to maybe claim something, like you don't have the authority to claim something. Let's read the protection message for dog spirit. Loyalty to people and situations can turn into attachment that results in stagnation, enmeshment, and loss of integrity. Do you fear what will happen if you let a relationship evolve? Are you afraid that asking for a situation to change will make others see you as disloyal? Trust that when dog spirit appears, you are meant to accept the turning of the wheel of life and the changing of fortunes. If you feel you are being betrayed or are growing apart from someone, let dog spirit reconnect you with your commitment to love in all its forms. Perhaps a relationship is meant to evolve. Perhaps you are meant to evolve too, so that you can experience the growth for which your soul yearns. Your greatest loyalty is to love, so be open to all its many guises, including self-love. You deserve the best, and that is what Spirit wants for you. Okay, yeah, that makes so much sense, especially when I pulled this, the Lovers in reverse, because that was feeling very much like a self-love moment for me. So it feels to me like with this Six of Cups that came out in reverse, and the need to release this childhood wound, it feels like somebody it feels like you know that if you claim this path, that somebody will feel that they're left behind, because maybe like somebody, I'm thinking like from your childhood, like from your family of origin, or maybe even a romantic relationship. I have a feeling that they have been keeping you like basically like telling you that you're not allowed to move on, keeping you in a space where you can't move on in one way or another. And so there's that feeling of guilt that if you move on, you're moving on without them. For someone in this group, this also has to do with the loss of a family member, whether it's because you are in no contact or there has been a death. And this loss feels like it makes you feel guilty to move on, because if you were to move on, you feel that you're leaving them behind, which is not the case. The people that we love that have passed on are always with us, and you cannot leave them behind just because you move on with your life. Actually, that is the way to honor their legacy, and to keep them alive. Okay, so there is definitely something that you're healing right now in those deep childhood wounds that is helping you to step into this new path where you feel that you can claim fulfillment and happiness and contentment. And I want to say again, this is like a very spiritual, enlightened path. I want to say that you're also, I want to remind you that you're ending cycles. We have the mirror that just came out with the number 21. Know thyself, self-examination, seeing who you really are. Okay, there's some of you who might be actually avoiding that self-examination, but to be honest, some of you have been in that moment of self-examination so heavily for so long that it's like your comfort zone is speaking down to yourself and thinking that you've done something wrong. And that is a cycle that you're closing. You need to leave that behind. That is like very clear in this message, is the need for self-love. There is a point where you can actually, you can really overdo it on trying not to be egoic. Okay, like you can, the ego is necessary regardless of, like, there's times when too much ego is destructive, and then there's also like times when ego is necessary. And I think that your ego has been broken down so much that you have had none, and you have just been in this period of self-reflection. And I just want to tell you, you deserve a break. You don't have to keep self-healing all the time. Conchomancy, seashell divination, wisdom of shells, number 32 in reverse. Some of you are maybe tarot readers, you're diviners, you are connected to the ocean. That was another thing that came out in the reading earlier, something about saltwater healing. So that might be necessary for some people, like, and you might feel that you do find healing in wild bodies of water. So that might be something that you need to check out for yourself right now. We have Imrama, wander, voyage, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, journey of the soul in reverse. You are right now going through a journey of the soul. And I think that journey is bringing you out. Like, you've been, like I said, very comfortable with like living in those shadow realms, in the space of self-deprecation, of assuming that you're always the one in the wrong, of accepting blame from others. And you are now diving into the childhood trauma that caused you to get stuck in that momentum of, no, not momentum, the stagnation of constant self-criticism. Okay, there is an enlightened path for you, a spiritual path, and this doesn't necessarily mean that you are gonna be like a tarot reader, spiritual, person. That might not be your path that you want to go through when it comes to like career or like life change or anything like that. And you might not be somebody who is going through like a big overhaul of like the change in lifestyle and change in career. But what you are doing is you're leaving behind the blame that others put on you. You're leaving behind the blame that others put on you. And you are stepping into this King of Arrows energy. This is King of Swords with the Kingfisher. You're stepping into an energy in which you are setting boundaries. When somebody crosses you, you're actually communicating. Seven of Wands in reverse. Clearance. So you're clearing out things that have been keeping you stagnant and preventing you from being able to step into a more creative energy and into an empowered energy. I love this for you. I think that you need to actually, like, I could get some more answers for you over time, but I think that right now it's important. Excuse me. I think that right now it's important for you to sit in this energy of self-love and of appreciating who you are rather than letting other people dictate your worth and when you're allowed to move and where you're allowed to move. I hope that this reading has been helpful. If it resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.